You ever notice how your mind can feel loud even when the room is quiet? How you can sit alone for 5 minutes and somehow feel like you've been in a crowd for hours? Your thoughts start racing, stacking on top of each other, replaying conversations, imagining outcomes, worrying about things that haven't happened and might never happen. And you begin wondering why something as simple as being inside your own head feels so exhausting. Let me tell you something that most people never hear. There is nothing wrong with you. Your mind isn't broken. Your attention isn't weak. Your anxiety isn't proof that you're failing. You're just living in a world that throws noise at you faster than your inner world was ever taught to handle. Your thoughts aren't the problem. The environment that keeps poking them is. But that changes today, because you're about to learn 9 Stoic truths that clear toxic thoughts, quiet your mental clutter, and help you reclaim control of your attention. Not vague inspiration, not surface-level positivity. Real, practical tools you can use starting today, tools rooted in ancient philosophy and supported by modern psychology. And if something in this already feels like it's speaking to you, if you feel that little internal, yes, finally, then pause for a moment and comment the words, "I choose clarity." Let's begin. Your mind isn't a battlefield until you turn it into one. Most toxic thoughts aren't coming from reality, they're coming from rumination. Your mind looping the same fears and problems over and over again. It's like your brain believes it can solve a problem by replaying it endlessly, but all it actually does is exhaust you. The Stoics called your ability to give a thought meaning assent. The moment you let a thought into your inner world, you give it the power to influence you. Epictetus once said that you have power over your mind, not external events. And in modern psychology, we know this is true because the emotional impact of a thought is determined not by the thought itself, but by the attention you give it. Imagine someone hands you a seed. If you throw it in your pocket, nothing happens. But if you plant it, water it, and give it sunlight, it grows. Your thoughts work the same way. A single negative thought means nothing on its own. But when you water it with attention, when you rehearse it and argue with it and fear it, it grows into something larger than life. So the next time a toxic thought shows up, don't fight it, don't argue with it. Just observe it. Say to yourself, this is a thought, not a prophecy, not a fact, not a description of who you are, just a passing spark in the brain. And ask, does this deserve my attention? Remind yourself, I am the gatekeeper, not the battlefield. The next truth is simple: what you consume shapes what consumes you. Your mind is constantly absorbing the world around you, even when you're not aware of it. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. In today's world, your thoughts are shaped by what you allow into your attention: news, conversations, social feeds, arguments, opinions, noise. And if what you consume is full of fear, conflict, comparison, and chaos, your mind becomes a reflection of that chaos. Think of your mind like a glass of water. Every input is a drop of something into that glass. You can pour in clean water, or you can drop in ink. Even one drop changes the whole glass. For the next 24 hours, pay attention to what you're letting into your mental space. What you watch, what you listen to, who you talk to, what you scroll. Ask, does this make my mind lighter or heavier? Remove at least one toxic input today and watch the noise decrease. Tell yourself, I choose what enters my mind. Here's the next truth. Most of what you fear is imagination on fire. Anxiety is your mind trying to predict the future in order to protect you, even when there's nothing real to protect you from. Seneca said that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. And modern psychology says the same. Your brain is wired to search for threats, and when it can't find real ones, it invents them. A delayed text becomes rejection. A strange look becomes judgment. A small mistake becomes disaster. Your mind fills in the unknown with the worst case scenario because it hates uncertainty more than it hates fear. Picture yourself walking past a dark room with a candle in your hand. The candle flame casts huge shadows on the wall, making shapes look much bigger and scarier than they are. But the moment you step inside, you realize the monster was never there. It was the shadow of your own light. So when your mind spirals into fear, pause and ask, has this already happened? Or am I imagining it? And say to yourself, I don't fear shadows. Another truth, you can't think clearly if you're never still. Your brain is overwhelmed because it never gets a moment without stimulation. Think of it like a phone with 40 apps open. It overheats, slows down, and eventually shuts off. The Stoics practiced stillness of the mind, not as meditation or breath work, but simply as a pause from the constant stream of input. Stillness is mental cooling. It's giving your nervous system a break. It's letting your internal world settle. Imagine a snow globe. Every time you check your phone, think a stressful thought, or jump from task to task, it shakes the globe and fills the water with swirling flakes. Stillness is when you put the globe down and let everything settle so you can see again. Take 5 minutes today, just 5, to sit in silence. No music, no scrolling, no thinking on purpose. Just let your mind settle. Remind yourself, stillness restores me. Another truth, if you don't control your attention, someone else will. Your attention is the most valuable resource you have. People, companies, apps, headlines, everything is designed to steal it. And when your attention is scattered, your thoughts become scattered too. The Stoics believed that controlling your attention was essential to mental strength. In today's terms, what you repeatedly focus on becomes your mental home. Think of your attention like a spotlight in a dark theater. Whatever you shine it on becomes the star of the show, even if it doesn't deserve to be. If you always shine the spotlight on fear, fear becomes the main character. If you shine it on negativity, negativity becomes the narrator. But you can take back control. Choose one task today and give it 10 minutes of pure, undivided attention. No switching, no glancing, no interruptions. Train your mind to follow your intention. Tell yourself, my attention follows my intention. Another truth, you don't have to believe every thought that shows up. Some thoughts are old stories. Some are habits. Some are memories. Some are voices from the past. Some are just random brain noise. The Stoics practiced creating distance from thoughts, the ability to step back and observe them, rather than merge with them. Instead of thinking, I'm not good enough, you say, I'm having the thought that I'm not good enough. That tiny bit of distance changes everything. You're no longer drowning in the river. You're standing on the shore watching the water move. Imagine sitting next to a road. Cars drive by constantly. Some are ugly, some are loud, some are strange. But you don't chase every car. You watch them pass. Thoughts are the same. Let them pass without giving chase. When a toxic thought appears, say, this is a thought, not a command. Remind yourself, I observe my thoughts, I do not obey them. Here's another truth. What you avoid controls you. Some thoughts feel powerful not because they're inherently frightening, but because you keep running from them. Avoiding a task, a conversation, a decision, or a truth makes it grow in your mind. The Stoics believe that avoiding discomfort magnifies fear, and psychology confirms that avoidance teaches the brain that the avoided thing is dangerous, when it often isn't. Think about stuffing unopened mail into a drawer because you're afraid of what might be inside. The drawer fills up, it gets heavier, it becomes intimidating. But when you finally open it, you realize most of it wasn't dangerous at all. Choose one thing you've been avoiding and do it in the next 24 hours. Watch how immediately your mind feels lighter. Tell yourself, I face what I fear, and its power dissolves. Another truth, comparison is a thief wearing a friendly mask. Toxic thoughts multiply when you compare your life to everyone else's highlight reel. The Stoics didn't have social media, but they understood the poison of comparison. They believed that envy drags the mind out of alignment with its own path. Marcus Aurelius wrote that we should not look outside ourselves for approval. Comparison doesn't just steal joy, it creates mental fog. It tricks your brain into chasing goals that were never yours. It convinces you that you're behind in a race you never agreed to run. It's like trying to run a marathon wearing someone else's shoes. They don't fit. They hurt your feet. They slow you down, yet you keep running because everyone else is. Picture two trees growing side by side. One grows tall, one grows wide. Neither tree feels insecure. Neither compares. They grow according to their nature. Humans, we see the other tree and panic. Unfollow one account today that makes you feel like you're not enough. Just one. Then ask yourself, what am I actually building for my own life? Tell yourself I walk my own path. And here's the most important truth: peace isn't found, it's built. People often talk about peace like it's something waiting for you at the end of the maze. But peace is a practice, a construction, a series of small choices that add up. The Stoics believed that peace comes not from controlling the world, but from aligning your actions with your values. Every small decision you make rewires your mind. Every moment of awareness, every boundary you set, every thought you observe but don't follow, every minute of stillness, every avoided comparison, every task you stop avoiding. These tiny things build the mental structure of inner peace. Imagine your mind as a garden. Weeds will always grow. Peace doesn't mean there are no weeds. It means you pull them regularly. Choose one 5-minute ritual that reconnects you with yourself every day. A quiet walk, a short journal line, a moment outside, a bit of reading, a pause before sleep. Peace is built in these small spaces. Tell yourself, peace is my practice. And right now something inside you is already shifting. Not because your life suddenly got easier, but because you remembered that you're not powerless inside your own head. You don't need the world to quiet down. You need to rise above the noise. Every time you choose stillness over stimulation, clarity over chaos, intention over impulse, you reclaim another piece of your inner world. Your mind doesn't need a revolution, it needs a routine. Small actions repeated consistently, gentle awareness practiced often, tiny corrections made daily. You don't need to master all 9 truths. You just need to practice one of them today, and then one tomorrow, and then one more the day after that. This is how clarity grows. This is how inner strength forms. This is how peace becomes your default, not your dream. And now comes the choice. Because right in this moment, you're standing at a crossroads. You can go back to the noise, back to the mental clutter, back to scrolling, back to distraction, back to the habits that keep your mind heavy. Or you can take one step, just one, toward a quieter, calmer, stronger mind. If this resonated with you, if even one part of this felt like truth, then don't leave without making your intention real. Like the video. Share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe if you want more content that strengthens your inner world. And declare your final intention in the comments. Write this: I choose clarity and inner peace. Say it out loud. Say it with conviction. Say it because today you did more than listen. You showed up for your mind. Your future self is already thanking you. I choose clarity and inner peace. You ever notice how your mind can feel loud even when nothing is happening? How you can be sitting alone in a quiet room and somehow feel like your brain is running a marathon you never agreed to run. You're not doing anything, but you feel tired. You're not in danger, but you feel tense. You're not speaking to anyone, but you feel crowded. And maybe you never said it out loud, but part of you has wondered, why am I like this? Why does my head feel heavy? Why do I overthink every little thing? Why do my thoughts go places I never wanted them to go? Let me say it again, because it matters. Nothing is wrong with you. Your mind isn't malfunctioning. You're not broken, weak, or messed up. You're just living in a world that throws more mental noise at you in one day than ancient humans dealt with in a year. Your mind is overstimulated, overexposed, and undertrained. It's not your fault, but it is your time to regain control. You're about to learn 9 Stoic truths that dissolve toxic thoughts, calm mental clutter, sharpen your focus, and help you reclaim your peace. Not vague inspiration, not empty positivity, not therapy-sounding language. Real, grounded mental tools that were used by philosophers, warriors, emperors, athletes, and everyday people who lived through chaos far beyond anything we experience today. And if something in this already feels familiar, if you feel that internal, "Yes, that's me," then before we go further, breathe once, just once, and comment the words, "I choose clarity." Now let's go deeper. Your mind isn't a battlefield until you turn it into one. Toxic thoughts don't usually come from real events. They come from your brain looping the same worries, memories, predictions, and fears over and over again. Rumination tricks your mind into thinking repetition is problem-solving, but all it does is amplify the noise. The Stoics talked about something called assent, the idea that a thought has no power until you accept it as true. Epictetus said that it's not what happens to you that disturbs you, but the story you tell yourself about what happens. Modern psychology agrees. Your emotional reaction is shaped by your interpretation, not the event itself. Imagine someone hands you a seed. If you stick it in your jacket pocket, nothing happens. But if you plant it, water it, and feed it sunlight, it grows into something alive. Your thoughts are exactly like that. A single negative thought means nothing by itself. But when you give it attention, when you rehearse it, when you emotionally feed it, it grows into a monster that starts dictating your mood. The moment a toxic thought shows up, don't wrestle with it. Don't try to defeat it. Just recognize it. This is a thought. That sentence alone removes most of its power. Ask yourself quietly, does this deserve my attention? And remind yourself, I am the gatekeeper, not the battlefield. You become what you consume. Your mind is a container, and if it feels polluted, it's because something has been pouring negativity, comparison, outrage, pressure, or noise into it. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of your thoughts. But today your thoughts are dyed by what you watch, who you follow, what you listen to, the energy of the people around you, and even the silent expectations you absorb from culture. Your brain is always listening. Your nervous system is always responding. Even small doses of negativity can leave behind residue. Picture a glass of water. Clean, clear, transparent. Now picture dropping even one drop of ink into it. It spreads instantly. It colors the whole thing. Your inputs work the same way. For the next 24 hours, pay attention to what you're allowing into your mind. Every video, every song, every conversation, every social feed, every headline. Ask yourself, does this make my mind heavier or lighter? Remove at least one heavy input. Watch the noise in your head instantly drop. Say to yourself, I choose what enters my mind. Most of what you fear is imagination on fire. Your brain is a survival machine, always scanning for danger. But in a world with fewer physical threats, it invents emotional and psychological ones instead. Seneca said we suffer more in imagination than in reality. In psychology, this is called catastrophizing, projecting disaster into situations that don't deserve it. Someone doesn't text back. Your mind invents worst-case storylines. A small tension in a relationship becomes a looming breakup in your imagination. A tiny mistake at work becomes the end of your reputation. Your brain is trying to protect you, but it ends up exhausting you. Imagine walking through a dark hallway holding a candle. The candle casts huge shadows on the walls, shadows that look like monsters. The brighter the flame, the bigger the shadows. But step into the room and flip on the light, and you realize the monster was never there. It was just shapes distorted by fear. The next time your brain jumps to catastrophe, pause and ask, has this already happened, or am I imagining it? Say quietly, I do not fear shadows. You can't think clearly if you're never still. Your mind is overwhelmed because it never gets a moment without stimulation. Your attention is pulled in 100 directions every hour, and your brain never gets a chance to simply exist without demand. Think of your brain like a phone. Even the newest phone overheats when too many apps run at once. Your thoughts start glitching, your patience drains, your clarity fades, your emotional tolerance drops. The Stoics practice stillness, not as meditation, not as breath work, not as spirituality, but as mental decompression. It's stepping away from stimulation long enough for your brain to reset. Imagine your inner world like a snow globe. Every notification, every stressful thought, every task shakes the globe. Stillness is when you stop shaking it and let the snow settle. Only then can you see through the glass. Take 5 minutes today, just 5, to sit quietly with no purpose. No deep breathing techniques, no affirmations, no goal. Just exist. You're giving your mind space to land. Remind yourself stillness restores me. If you don't control your attention, someone else will. Your attention is the currency every app, every advertisement, every platform wants to steal. Your brain wasn't built for constant stimulation, and yet it's bombarded with it. This is why you feel tired without doing anything. Your attention is pulled apart all day long. The Stoics saw attention as a form of discipline. Whatever you repeatedly focus on becomes your mental home. If you constantly think about problems, your brain becomes problem-oriented. If you constantly think about what you lack, your brain becomes scarcity-oriented. If you constantly think about what others think, your brain becomes approval-oriented. Picture your attention as a spotlight on a theater stage. Whatever you point the spotlight at becomes the star of the show. Sometimes you shine it on fears, sometimes on past mistakes, sometimes on future worries, sometimes on people who don't deserve the role. But you can choose differently. Pick one task today, just one, and give it your full attention for 10 minutes without switching. You're retraining your brain to obey you instead of external stimulus. Say to yourself, my attention follows my intention. Not every thought deserves your respect. Some thoughts are old habits passed down from childhood. Some are echoes of past experiences. Some are opinions you overheard years ago that stuck. Some are simply your mind doing its random background processing. The Stoics practiced stepping back from thoughts, seeing them as events in the mind, not as truths about who they are. In modern psychology, this is called diffusion. Instead of thinking, I'm a failure, you say, I'm having the thought that I'm a failure. That distance is everything. Imagine sitting at the side of a road watching cars drive by. Some are loud, some are broken down, some are brand new, some are ugly, some are random. But you don't chase every car, you let them pass. Thoughts work the same way. You don't have to chase them, judge them, or attach meaning to them. You just watch them come and go. When a painful thought appears, gently say, this is a thought, not a command. And remind yourself, I observe my thoughts. I do not obey them. What you avoid controls you. Some thoughts keep returning not because they are powerful, but because you keep running from the situation attached to them. Avoidance feeds anxiety. Avoidance makes the avoided thing seem dangerous. Avoidance trains the brain to amplify fear. The Stoics believed that discomfort loses its power when faced directly. Most of the things you avoid are far smaller in reality than they are in your mind. Think about stuffing unopened mail into a drawer. You avoid opening it because you fear what might be inside. But the longer you avoid it, the heavier that drawer becomes, the more intimidating it feels. But when you finally open it, you realize most of it was harmless. Choose one thing you've been avoiding: a message, a call, a task, a conversation, a truth. Face it today. Watch how much mental space returns instantly. Say to yourself, I face what I fear, and its power dissolves. Comparison is a thief with a friendly mask. Your mind becomes toxic when you compare your behind the scenes life to everyone else's highlight reel. The Stoics warned against envy because it pulls you away from your own purpose. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you should not look outside yourself for validation. Comparison doesn't just steal joy, it clouds your judgment. It confuses your direction. It makes you chase goals that aren't yours. It convinces you that you're behind in a race that doesn't actually matter. It tricks you into thinking other people's progress means something about your worth. Imagine two trees growing side by side. One grows tall, one grows fast, one grows slow. Neither tree feels insecure, neither tree questions its path. They just grow. Humans, we compare ourselves to the other tree and panic. Unfollow one account today that makes you feel less than. Just one. Reflect for 30 seconds on what you truly want for your life, not what looks good online, not what earns approval, Not what others expect, but what actually aligns with your soul. Say it, I walk my own path. Peace isn't found, it's built. People imagine peace as something that arrives when life finally stops being chaotic. But peace doesn't come from the absence of problems. It comes from the presence of practices. The Stoics believed peace came from living in alignment with your values, not from controlling circumstances. Every small decision you make, every time you pause before reacting, every moment you choose perspective over panic, every thought you question instead of obeying, rewires your mind. Not in dramatic, cinematic ways, in subtle, consistent ways that become your new default. Imagine your mind as a garden. Weeds will always grow. Peace isn't the absence of weeds, it's the habit of pulling them. Choose one daily ritual that keeps your mind grounded. 5 minutes. That's all it takes. It could be writing a single line in a journal, sitting outside for a moment before checking your phone, reading a single page of philosophy, taking one slow breath before starting your day. These small rituals are how you construct an inner world no one can disturb. Tell yourself, peace is my practice. And something inside you is shifting right now, even if it's subtle. You're beginning to remember that you are not powerless inside your own mind. You don't need the world to be quieter for you to find peace. You need to become stronger than the noise. Every time you choose awareness over reaction, stillness over stimulation, clarity over confusion, you reclaim another piece of yourself. Your mind doesn't need miraculous transformation. It needs consistency. Tiny habits practiced over time, gentle corrections, small moments of awareness repeated daily. These are what shape your inner world. You don't need to master all 9 truths. You don't need to memorize them. You don't even need to apply them perfectly. Just practice one, then another, then another. Let them seep in slowly until the old toxic patterns lose their grip. Your life becomes quieter. Your head becomes clearer. Your reactions slow down. Your tolerance expands. Your confidence grows. Your peace becomes solid, but only if you choose it. Because right now, in this exact moment, you're standing at a fork in the road. You can go back to the noise, back to the overwhelm, back to the loops, back to the clutter, back to scrolling, back to the mental habits that drain you. Or you can choose something different, something cleaner, something calmer, something stronger. If this resonated with you, if you felt something wake up inside you, if you felt relief, recognition, or hope, then don't walk away from this moment without taking action. Like this. Share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe if you want to keep building a quieter mind with me. And declare your intention publicly so it becomes real. Type these words in the comments. I choose clarity and inner peace. Say it out loud too. Say it like you mean it. Say it because today you didn't just learn. You didn't just watch. You didn't just listen. You showed up for your mind. Your future self is already thanking you. I choose clarity and inner peace.